All right, guys, I guess I'll jump in. Sometimes I'll watch a show that has been out a while, and a friend of mine mentioned it to us to watch this one. It's called Bates Motel. I don't know if you guys have had a chance to see that at all. It's a takeoff on the movie Psycho. It's 5 seasons. The star is Freddie Highmore. He's known for The Good Doctor. I don't know if you watch that show at all, but he plays Norman Bates to a T. It's pretty amazing. And his mom in the show, Vera Farmiga, she plays Norma Bates, but it's a good spinoff. It's like a modern day prequel to the movie Psycho, and you can watch it on Amazon Prime. The first 4 seasons completely different with the same characters. Then it sets up season 5, which is really close to the movie Psycho. So if you're looking for something to watch, a series, you can turn the brain power off for a while.
Right.
It's a pretty good show, Bates Motel on Prime. And the other thing,
and that show's all done, right? Like
it's done. Yeah. I mean, it came out, I think, in 2013. That's what I mean about an older series, but you just come across some of these things sometimes and it sucks. You know how it sucks. After every episode, there's some kind of mystery. So it's pretty good. I'd say 2.5 on the 3-point scale. And then Jared will love this one. I talked about it a couple pods ago, but I finally watched the entire OJ American Manhunt on Netflix. And I got to tell you, I looked it up on Rotten Tomatoes. It was 100% and 90%. It's 4 parts, 4 basically 1-hour parts. The titles are The Blood, The Search, The Circus, and The Verdict. I mean, it was probably the best OJ series that I've seen as far as documentary. There was a lot of
better than the 30 for 30.
The 30 for 30 was really good. That was more of a straight documentary, basically. This one had a lot of behind the scenes stuff that you didn't see before. They had a lot of interview stuff with Mark Furman. Of course, he's the guy, the crooked cop.
Yeah.
And then Christopher Darden, the assistant prosecutor, he had a lot of takes. So I thought I would not see something that would give me more information, but this was really good. If you're an OJ follower from way back when and checking these documentaries out, this was really well done on Netflix. It's worth the watch.
That was the whole sell of this one, right? Different footage, different interviews, different, right.
A lot of evidence didn't make the trial that you're made aware of, that if they would have had that. I mean, there was so much blood evidence. It was ridiculous, but just better lawyers,
Better lawyers. And not to, at this point, there's no like you're blowing any spoiler alerts or anything like that. But wasn't there stuff with the blood? Like there was tampering with all the evidence, and there wasn't certain technology that we obviously have now.
That was definitely part of the argument, and they had so much film and stuff on it. The collection of the evidence at the crime scene was huge. They botched that, and then, like I said, when Furman said he didn't use the N-word, and then they pull out a tape, with him using it left and right.
Right.
And then the glove not fitting, terrible decision by Darden to have him try on the glove that's all wilted and, crinkled up from blood on it.
Right.
Totally botched it,
Blundered it.
Blundered it all the way. So, but it was still fascinating to me. I can't believe that there was some new information that I wasn't aware of. So I recommend it. Netflix, 4 parts.
4 parts, what, an hour each?
About an hour each. And then the last episode was 90 minutes to wrap it all up. Yep.
That's worth it.
Yep.
Again, I do think, I know Jared rolls his eyes all the time at the OJ stuff. I do think that's a generational thing. I mean, if there's people who are just big into, true crime or whatever, they probably still like it. But, not saying you don't get it, Jared. I'm not like saying that, but like
he doesn't get it.
If you weren't around then, I was young, but I remember it vividly. It's something like if you were alive when that was happening, it's insane how it captivated not just the country, the world.
Speaking of generations, while we're on that real quick, Jared, what's the lifetime event in your lifetime that you point to that is a milestone? Like there's 9/11, there's the Kennedy assassination for me when I was a little kid. The OJ thing probably right to the top of the list as far as interest and media coverage.
So I was only, I don't even know if I was 2 years old by the time 9/11 happened. So that's not, I wouldn't consider that. To be honest, it's been the last, 4 to 8 years of the presidential, debate and like, to be honest, it's been the whole Trump thing. I feel like that's been the biggest. I mean, how big that was in November was, and it still is huge right now, obviously. But that was a big time moment in terms of, my lifetime and something like that. I don't know. I mean, tell me if there's anything I'm missing. That seems to be the big thing in the last 25 years or so.
Yeah, good point. Like Matt just said, COVID.
Yeah. Oh yeah, COVID. Exactly. COVID that's the right answer. It's COVID. So no, I'll throw my little Tedertainment out there real quick. I mentioned it, maybe 3-4 weeks ago. I really do think it's the best show on television right now. White Lotus on Max. They just had episode 5 of this third season. All of a sudden Sam Rockwell comes out of nowhere in this episode, and the scene's been going viral all over Twitter, even if you watch the show or don't. It's a wild one. It's a good one. Him and Walton Goggins, just a funny little duo that I'm glad Mike White, the director, said, let's get these dudes together. Like, this is going to be dynamic. So this upcoming episode, which will be number 6, seems to be what this whole season has led up to. I feel like it's really going to be which, quote unquote shit hits the fan. And then there'll be the fallout, in the last couple episodes of the season. But if you haven't been watching this show, I don't know. It's just so good to me. I can't imagine somebody not liking it. Honestly, and now's the time to get in and binge it. Up before this upcoming episode this Sunday, because I think it's really going to be a big time one.
Yeah, that's on my agenda right now. Now that you got 5 or 6 episodes in, I'm ready to start checking it out because I hate waiting week to week.
Right. No, I know you guys know that I don't like to jump in on shows too late, but my wife and I were talking about, like, what are we, something to watch. I think we're going to get into this one because I've seen other people. I've heard your reviews, Jared. I've seen some clips and, heard some other people say how good it is. And we're only, 2.5 seasons behind.
Right.
So it's like, all right,
we catch up in a week. You've been through it, man. It's mystery. It's murder. It's, every actor and actress is good looking. That's always a bonus. I'm not going to complain about that.
Right.
It just, to me, is just a perfect show, man.
And each season standalone too, which is good.
With some slight crossover, like there's usually a character that will, be on for 2 seasons or so. Uncle Rico is in every season. I don't even know what that actor's name, but he's a classic. His name's Gary in the show, or Greg. Yeah. He's got 2 names.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't recommend anything more, to be honest.
Yeah. I think we're definitely going to get into that one. We're still keeping up with 1923. I don't know, Ted, if you've been keeping up or.
Nope, I'm in the same boat. I'm going to start tuning into that now too, that I can stack up a few.
Yeah. And this season, I think I've said it before on this. Yellowstone obviously is a standard of this, I guess, series. But 1923 is fantastic with Harrison Ford and all the other actors and actresses in it. The storyline is great. All these shows kind of have 2 or 3 different little storylines that they follow. And each one in this season is, I don't know, it just grips you. It's, dramatic or whatever. The one thing, it's fantastic. Like, period, end of statement. It's a great series. The one thing we say sometimes that is playing against it, they're obviously trying to build up the drama and how can the Duttons keep the ranch? Well, we know because of Yellowstone that they do keep the ranch. Correct. So that's kind of like the one thing is, like, they're obviously building the drama. There's like this big battle, or there's, something's going to go down in 1923. But we know that the Duttons obviously come out on top because Yellowstone is this thing, the original series. So that's the one thing that takes away a little bit from, what's going to happen. I guess we don't know, what characters maybe get killed or, what happens with some of the other characters, but that takes away a little bit from the drama. But overall, 1923 is fantastic. We watched a stand-up also on Hulu. I kept seeing the promos and I kept hearing the promos and stuff. So I was like, all right, let's check this out. And I like Bill Burr, the comedian.
Oh, yeah.
He's funny. I've seen a couple of his stand-ups and I've seen, some of his movies and some other stuff. But he put out a new stand-up special on Hulu. It's called Drop Dead Years. And so I was like, yeah, let's watch this. It's only like an hour long. And like I said, I like his comedy. It's good. It's kind of one of those, like, you have to like his style of comedy to really get it. And yeah, if you like his comedy, it's again, it's funny. He talks about stuff he's going through, I guess, in his older years or whatever, and make some jokes about certain things. He definitely doesn't hold back on the language he uses. So if you're not a fan of that, you probably wouldn't like it. But no, like I said, an hour long. If you like Bill Burr, it's worth a watch.
Sounds good. I'm going to check that out. I know my wife sometimes listens to a comedy channel on her Sirius radio in the car, and she's always talking about him. He's pretty funny. I like him. I like his style.
Funny. Yeah, he's funny. And you might like it too because of some of the jokes that he tells, talking about the older years or whatever of his life. So
all right. Well,
he had a wild moment, Bill Burr. I guess it's even worth saying, but I'll say it anyway. He had a wild moment on like Howie Mandel's show or something. All of a sudden, I don't remember who the musician was, but he has like a long lost brother that's like a famous musician or something. Let me see if I can.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I saw that. I saw that on TikTok or some social media site. Yeah, he got all pissed off, didn't he? It was kind of
I don't
caught off guard.
I'll try to find out who it is, but that was it. That was all I had. Bill Burr. Yeah, I like Bill Burr too. King of Staten Island's a good flick with him and Pete Davidson. I like them both in that.
Oh yeah, that's good.
All right. Well, let's before I officially wrap up this podcast, first of all, Jared, I understand you got your hotel money back. You got that squared away.
Yeah,
for our listeners that are curious.
Finally, it came through after about 2 weeks. So I'm getting geared up for the wedding, man. I got to pick up my suit. I got my suit back, and my pant legs were like literally like past my toes, like how long. So that got tweaked. So I'm picking up the final suit Thursday. So it's coming up quick, man. It was Billy Corgan, his half brother.
That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, it just was. Yeah.
He's a rock singer, right? He's
I think. I don't know.
Yeah, he is definitely. And by the way, we're on YouTube, we're on video. Looks like you've done pretty well on your weight loss. Did your pants fit in the waist?
Yeah, they did. But here, with this past weekend of work, man, like I had like a whatever it was, 16 or 17 hour day. I did get pizza on Saturday night, so. I'm trying to do a solid week leading up to the wedding. It'll be tough once March Madness rolls around in a couple days. But
I was gonna say you gotta keep the momentum going now.
Yeah,
you got the progress. All right, have one weekend. It's a wedding. All right, enjoy yourself. But get back on the horse. Get back to Memorial. Get back to the wellness center. Get in that sauna, steam room.
I'm heading to the gym right now after this, man. Getting that shred in. So
why are you guys looking at me? I don't know.
Have you been going? I know.
No, I've definitely been.
I know you've been busy.
I've been off the wagon. I need to get back into it for sure. So
you gotta. Here's what you just gotta know what pushes your buttons, man. You like as soon as there was money on the line, think about how you ratcheted into shape, and it was like you just need to figure out a way to get that incentive, and what pushes your buttons. So I mean, you know how it rolls.
Yeah, I hated losing out by 0.7 of a pound or whatever it was. I will say that, but I did have motivation.
Yeah. All I can picture is the Office episode where they're trying to weigh in, and Ted's on that scale, seeing that 0.7, missing out on his payday.
It was brutal.